Kia ora, I'm Kerry and I'm filming in Port Waikato, and we are at the Marae Oraeroa, which is the marae to which I belong, although I'm not Ngāti Tahinga, which is the main hapu of this marae, but I'm part of the marae because of my Pākehā great-great-grandfather Charles Marshall. And we're coming to the Pai at the beginning where the entrance is to the marae. And this is quite significant for us because as we get closer to the wharenui, you will see something that's quite unusual. I'm sure that there must be other wharenui that have it, but on the front of this wharenui is a carving of a Pākehā figure, and as I move towards it you'll see it more clearly. So Marshall came here in 1830, settled, and was, as was not unusual in the time, given a Māori woman named Rangawiu, his first wife. Then after a time he travelled back to Australia and he married there his second wife, Elizabeth Barrett, and she came out to live here in Port Waikato with him, well, further up the river, and it was a bit difficult, I think, for her. So he had his third wife, Tiramate, who was my great-great-grandmother. And then in 1868 or thereabouts they separated, and he married Sophie Gray from Tasmania. Barrett, when she came out as his wife, was the second Pākehā, it is said, Pākehā woman to live in Oraeroa. So he had 4 wives overall. I say wife, but there were some lawful wives, as it were, and some de facto. Now, it was the practice, and indeed the policy, that if land was in the name of, let's say, Tiramate, when she married a Pākehā man, the land passed to him, and he became the owner of it. So Marshall refers to her in a letter to Maclean, the native minister. He said cohabited. It's a strange word, I guess, for us today, but it made a wee bit of sense then, because it meant that she continued to have ownership, as it were, of the land that was hers. It didn't pass to him. They were together for some time, and from that family came 6 children, one of whom was my great-grandmother, Harriet, and then she married Richard Underwood, and they had children, and one of them was Alice, my grandmother, and she married Matthew Enright, my grandfather, and they had 8 children, one of whom was my father, Francis Buswell Enright. So you can see on the front of the wharenui then the Pākehā figure with the top hat and the white beard. And there are photos of him in many books about the Waikato in his later years, just up around the, just further inland from here, about 500 metres or so. So this is the Marae Oraeroa, in a beautiful location in Port Waikato. And up behind is the Kura kaupapa. So just up on the hill behind these buildings there is a building, and there are children there at there is a te kura for people from not just Port Waikato but from all around Tuakau, Pukekohe, etc. Ka kite anō.